This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
The state rests its case for executing Hollis Daniels. Excuse me. So now attorneys for the confessed killer of Texas Tech police officer Floyd East Jr. are presenting their arguments to instead send him to prison for the rest of his life.
KCBD News Channel 11's Case Wilbanks has heard those initial arguments as well as how prosecutors wrapped up theirs. Case?
Yeah, Karen and Abner, before calling Officer East's widow to the stand, District Attorney Sunshine Stanek read Daniels' writings from jail. In them, he talks about what he believes will be his punishment, as well as a confession about the robbery he committed before the murder of Officer East. It was here at Ribble Park at 58th and Avenue U. State witnesses say Hollis Daniels was at just a few hours before he's arrested and then shot Officer East. They described seeing him acting strange and frantic. Another witness says he often met Daniels there to buy and sell weed, but on that day, October 9th, 2017, Daniels told him he robbed someone at gunpoint and stole Xanax. And that victim also took the stand to confirm that Daniels put a gun to his head, taking about $400 worth of the drug. It's a robbery he wrote about in the Lubbock County Detention Center. Prosecutors read to the jury writings taken from Daniels while he was in jail, deemed having evidentiary value. In them, he says in part on October 13th, "I don't want to be a murderer. I want to follow Jesus. If you kill, you should rot." Also saying, "I imagine a 25 to life sentence is what I'll receive. To me, that's scarier than the death sentence." Then Carmen East took the stand. Officer East's widow told jurors about the childhood friend she'd come to marry in 2012 and the father he'd become to her two daughters. To tears in the courtroom, the jury saw photos of their family, including this one, the last one he'd send to her the morning of his death. His death she'd be notified of while she was working in Ireland. She says a friend called asking if she'd heard from Floyd. An officer was down at Texas Tech. Well, she thought no news was good news until the hotel room phone rang, and she was told that he died. She spoke about the nonprofit Texas 635 she's since founded to help officers with their mental health, and the state then rested its case. Defense attorneys have called a Texas Tech advisor who spoke about Daniels' mother, sending her an email with a request for a counselor for Daniels. The assistant dean of students was notified of that request, and she testified to the notification she also received from the counseling center about Daniels' possible gun possession and suicidal thoughts around the time that he's arrested, both of which he denied to counselors. The fourth roommate in Daniels' Talkington Hall pod testified about Daniels' claims he was on Xanax the weekend and day leading to the shooting, and testimony to the grand jury that the roommate believed Daniels was high at the time. The roommate told prosecutors he was never concerned that Daniels would harm himself or someone else. The state also called an expert witness today, a director in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, to explain what the experience is like for someone convicted of capital murder, whether that's spending life in prison or on death row. The defense will continue calling its witnesses in the morning at 9 a.m. and will provide our continuing coverage. Karen.
Thank you, Case.